We're so happy you could be with us again. I am joined by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a food and wine sommelier of the year. The group includes, up in North Bethesda, Owen's Ordinary. You got the two Rusticos in Alexandria and Ballston. Greg, it is always good to see you.
You too, bud.
Ah, interesting color. What do we have on tap this week?
This week we have a very special and rare beer from a little lambic blender in Belgium called Cam. And this is their Framboise Lambiek. So framboise, of course, raspberry. This is spontaneously fermented wheat beer that has been aged in oak barrels for a little bit of time. It's young lambic, and then further steeped on whole raspberries. So, you know, framboise used to be purple in color because it was probably made with raspberry syrups and things like that. Used to be sweet. This is the real thing, authentic raspberry lambic from the Pajottenland. Incredibly acidic. An incredible acidity, not too acidic.
I like that.
Beautifully complex. Lactic tartness. Really bright and effervescent. Juicy on the palate. And I mentioned the Pajottenland. That is the rural kind of farmland region right around Brussels. We've talked about it before as being the traditional home and historic home of lambic beer production. This is located, Cam is located in Guick, which is just west of Brussels, a little village, and an amazing tiny little place. If we have some bottles of this at the Sovereign in Georgetown, our Belgian place. Check it out there. It's very, very cool. This is one of the smallest breweries we've ever featured here on Beer of the Week. They make the equivalent of about 130 barrels of beer a year, which is the equivalent of under 300 kegs, full-size kegs.
That's how much I drink a year.
Right? That might not be wrong.
Maybe.
But, you know, like to put it into perspective, Blue Jacket, where we are, is a very small brewery. We do about 20 times what they do. And even more special is how long these beers take to make. This is Cam is a blender. Carl Godot is the one-man show behind Cam. The blender he started in 1997. It was the first lambic blender to open in 40 years in Belgium at the time, back when nobody was really all that interested in lambic outside of a few connoisseurs really in the world. They started it for passion's sake and continue it that way. They purchased lambic from different brewers, including Bone, Lindemans, and Girardin, age it in oak barrels, create their own blends, steep in their own fruits, and then create these amazing beers. So really, really special stuff.
And lastly, before we talk about what to pair it with, and I know we all see colors differently, and we've done a lot of raspberry-based beers made in the United States, made in Belgium, that are pinkish or, you know, raspberry-ish color, but this to me looks orange.
Yeah, it is, exactly.
Or rust.
Because this is how you can tell that a brewer is using 100% real raspberries, because real raspberries do not give you, that's what I was kind of getting at earlier. I mean, people know Lindemans Framboise, for instance, and you know, Lindemans makes some great lambic, but they tend to sweeten, pasteurize what they make into tasting like fruit juice. Luckily, they sell some of their lambic to others like Cam. There's Lindemans in here where they won't, you know, adjust it to be too sweet and lose some of its character.
What would you pair it with?
This is incredible beer for food with all of its acidity and fruit quality. I love it with soft cheeses, whether that's, you know, a simple goat chèvre or triple cream like Brie or Camembert. You can put that in between a couple of pieces of buttered toasted bread and have an amazing adult grilled cheese experience with this. But then this is also great, even in spite of its low ABV and its kind of paler color, it works with some bigger things. So you can do this with like steak fajitas. You can do this with fried fish or fried chicken. It's going to dig in there and liven everything up really well. Also going to be great with any kind of salad. You know, it's going to bring in that acidity you need. So spinach salad with some blue cheese and walnuts. Awesome.
Last week, root vegetables. Today, goat cheese. Man, Greg, you're letting me down, but that's just
I think those are all of your foibles at this point.
My favorite.
You've come a long way.
Foibles, yeah. All right. I secretly eat them in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Greg, thank you as always. Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.